Hey, welcome back to another episode of World of Horror. We're gonna do this again. See if we can actually live this time. Yeah, we gotta, strange happenings are happening in the middle of this town. Let's see. I know each character has their own little, this character had the whole, you have to have allies and stuff. Each character has their own little, story perk type deal, you know what I mean? We're gonna go with the family history again, medical history, but one of them is like a sidekick, right? One of them, this guy here, he's got nicotine addiction, so if you don't feed him with cigarettes from time to time, his stats go down and stuff like that. So we're gonna go with this chick right here. Let's see. I don't remember which does what. I know this one you can't run from battle. This one is like spells. We're gonna go with this one. Resting increases doom penalty, which is really not that big of a deal if you don't rest, if you don't have to rest all that much. Banished to the other dimensions long ago, Goizo has found a way to use mirrors to ensnare and teleport its prey straight through reflective glass. The glimpse behind you, let me try that again. The glimpses behind your reflections are just the beginning of the real nightmare. All right, let's see. Medical history, we have a chance of getting an injury during battle, but we get free experience at the start, so let's go ahead and cash that in. Does she have anything else? I don't know. She might actually just be like a character that mind drain. Let's see. Looks like she started with a spell. Deals 5 damage, regain 2 reason, lose max reason. That's not bad, considering that we have 17. If I have to use that, that's not the worst case scenario. Oh, now we can actually, looks like we unlocked some, the vending machine. We can actually, change a lot of, what we can do at home. Ooh, the pharmacy's been unlocked. That's great. Unless it was unlocked and I forgot about it. Okay, so we're just going to go with that. Pretty much basic standard stuff. Nothing in there. Sometimes you can find something in there. We'll go get our free experience. Got to find that dollar and see if we can find a good outfit to wear. I'm going to go with that one, I guess. That one's fine. Okay, so what do we got? We've got the vicious verses of a violent vigil, account of the abominable arms, spine-chilling story of the school scissors, curious case of a contagious coma, and the tragic tale of the trigonometry teacher. I'm gonna go with the arms. Alarming accounts of abnormal arms. I remember when it started. The woman next door was strangled to death in her bed with no sign of forced entry. The killer was never found, and the apartment remained vacant. Start investigation. The door to her apartment was closed, and she lived alone. What other ways what other ways in are there? Maybe you can get to the apartment plan to compare the flats. Investigate the hospital location twice to complete this quest. Let's go ahead and do that. We get extra experience and it gives us more flavor texts. Your reflection twists and shimmers when you're not looking at it directly. Goizo is getting closer. Great. Start immediately with this. Oh my god. Chance of losing stamina each time you lose reason. Man, this is starting off perfect, isn't it? That's why I love this game, though, is it can really screw you over real super fast. When the patient came home one morning covered in scars and babbling about aliens, The police had them committed. They're mumbling something quiet as you pass by. I don't have the paranoia stat, so let's just talk to them normally. You try reasoning with them to tell them what really happened, but it doesn't work. It takes 2 nurses to calm them down after they roughed you up. Yeah, this is why you just keep on going on. Leave them alone. Oh my god. Lost reason. Well, of course, it's because of this. The Anatomical Museum Archive displays a specimen with elongated arms and jellified bones. We're gonna enter the doctor's office to get our free pills. Pills here. And then we're gonna go here. I have my, I'm gonna see. You got my steak knife? Yeah. Always get the steak knife. If they've got really good dexterity, this is like... There's only one other weapon in the game that I can think of that is like the best weapon in the game. And I don't think I have it unlocked. I know I don't have the scenario unlocked. And it's like... It takes like real planning to get it. It's the chainsaw. So you need a flashlight, you need a thing of gasoline, and you need to have a certain campaign unlocked, which you have to do at least second, because you need to have a campaign where you can do this. Go get a flashlight from the hardware store, or try and get the gasoline from the hardware store, and then like go to that campaign and get it. And you need the flashlight just so that you can investigate the area that you need to find the chainsaw at. But when you get the chainsaw, it's got like, it's super lightweight, high accuracy, like you're never going to mess with it. And pretty much every encounter that you can actually use it as a weapon is just a given to you at that point. All right, let's investigate. Alarmed by the sound of glass breaking, you discover the corpse of a policeman lying on a pool of blood. It looks like someone or something tore out his throat. Steal his gun, search for clues, escape. We're going to search for clues because we get experience. The guns are good. Your bullet count is up here. Once it's done, though, like you either have to find a place to buy more bullets, which I don't have unlocked, or like... I don't think you can sell it, but it becomes like a melee weapon and it's not very good. But the problem that happens with the guns is they give you like ringing in your ear. Like they'll give you like a ringing in your ear and that'll make it where like... Yeah, I can't remember what stats what it does, but anyway... He didn't tear out his throat, but instead they carved an occult symbol with something sharp. You try to remember the shape and escape before anyone arrives. The apartment is on the 3rd floor. There is no way somebody used the window to escape the murder scene. You find an envelope lying on a pillar in your on a pillow, not a pillar. Ain't that southern? In your bedroom. Inside is cash and a note from someone who has been watching you. They wish you luck in your task and promise to meet you soon. Just how did the envelope end up in your room? 2 funds, -1 reason. You notice the odd placement of ventilation shafts. They seem too small for anyone to crawl through, though. As you prepare for a bath, you think about all the possible leads so far. You're tired, so maybe cold, icy water is a good idea. We're going to go hot bath. Icy water can either make you lose stamina or very small possibility of getting something, but I don't remember like if it's experience or something. Hot bath was so inviting that you spent an extra hour in it. How do you sit in a bath for like hours on end? Like, so I'm pretty tall, so it's really hard for me to find like a bathtub that I'm not trying to sit in with my knees in my chest. But when I do find one that's good enough for like me to relax in, like I'm in there for like 15 minutes max. Like I don't know, like It's relaxing, but once I feel like I've relaxed enough, like I'm like, okay, I'm just sitting in this hot water. It's done. You know, to me, it's great. It's a luxury to take a nice hot bath like that, but like, I couldn't sit in there for like an hour plus. Anyway, you should interview the neighbors. Maybe you'll discover something the police missed. Loud knocking wakes you up in the middle of the night. Open up, shouts the deep voice from behind the door. I know you're in there. Get closer to the door and ask what's the matter. Dexterity check success. Before you can answer, the door's letterbox suddenly opens and an unknown invader tries to look inside. Luckily, you manage to stand still. After a couple of minutes, the man retreats, probably unsure if you're at home at all. After all, I've experienced. I don't remember what happens if you fail that, but I know if you call the police, it's basically like they're gone before the police get there, and then you're just like, you lose reason or something because it's like they got away. One neighbor is complaining about her missing underwear. When you stop home to pick up your lunch, you find a pile of letters in your mailbox. Read the letters, check them later. We'll read them. Luck failure. This is actually really dangerous. Like, I think you can get money, or you can lose money. Like, staying up late investigating your current case has really increased your electricity bill, minus due funds. And then there's one that's like, something horrible is like coming or something like that, and it's basically like a curse that could be like a game ender or something. I can't remember exactly how it works, but like there's like, oh yeah, no, you end up having to fight it, and if you win it leaves you alone, but if you can run away and stuff and it'll show up again later. Another neighbor is complaining about weird noises coming from the vents when she's at home. A woman bumps into you as she runs from a beauty parlor. Before you can say anything, you notice her face. She's carved out her own eyes. If I can't see it, she cries, it can't see me, right? You shudder, seeing a faint vision of Goizo reflected in the beauty parlor's mirror. It makes me think of that one anime. I don't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but it's about a girl who like randomly for no reason one day just gets like the ability to see ghosts, and like because she was watching this horror like talk show thing on TV, one of the people said something about like pretending not to be seen and they'll leave you alone. So she's just like, the whole show is her like trying not to be noticed by ghosts by pretending like she doesn't see the ghosts. Anyway, let's check the building plan to find out if there's a place where all the vents connect. A lot of investigating the apartments in this one. The telephone sounds and multiple voices are too loud for you to ignore. When you enter the apartment, everything turns silent. It's the gossip junkie. I don't think there's a like. There's not a. I don't think there is a, like, you can read about this enemy, you know, kind of thing. I don't think so, but we gotta take her out. She's only does reason damage, but, like, we don't want to. Oh yeah, I lose stamina. I have a chance of losing stamina every time I lose reason. That's great. Hooray. Every room is connected by vents coming from the unused boiler room. Could it be? You enter the dark boiler room and trip over the pipe. Cursing, you find a light switch and gasp in horror. It's not a pipe at all. It's a long rubbery arm coiling around the room and ending in the ventilation shaft. Coming closer, you can smell something vile and rotten. Oh no! You almost fall to the ground when you see the wide open stare of the dead pervert. His elongated limbs stretching and disappearing into the vents. Darkness. Inside his mouth, you find a tiny key. Oh, that's actually going to be very useful when we go to the school scissors one. because that's used in the school scissors one. And I don't know if there's anywhere else it's used. After the police arrive, the whole building gets searched. Following the arms, the detectives find the body of a man stuck in a ventilation shaft. Later, he is identified as the building's caretaker. In his closet, police find pieces of underwear and voyeuristic photos of all the tenants. You are questioned thoroughly and eventually released as the murder case is being covered up as a case of an unfortunate gas leak. We got ending A, reward, extra experience, 45, with that, -3 doom, +1 to stamina and reason, and the day goes forward. Let's see, second sight. Additional damage against ghost and eldritch enemies. Arcane grasp, +2 additional spell slots available. Folklore studies, +1 knowledge of various rituals and regional myths. I'm going to go with second sight. And then I'm going to get more stamina back. The whole... Oh, man. Oh, wait, never mind. This isn't what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was the faucet with the water. The whole town stopped receiving the outside signals. It must be the radio. Mass failure. Radio. There's nothing coming on the radio. The whole town stopped receiving any outside signals. It must be the radio. I don't know exactly what that means. Like, I know, actually, I do know there is a character you unlock by, like, spamming the TV. Like, you go in here to the TV, and eventually they'll talk about someone who's missing in the woods, and you go searching the woods until eventually they show up. So we're going to come in here, and we're going to get some reason back. And then we're going to go. School scissors, contagious coma, trigonometry teacher. This one's actually not hard to do at all. I'm going to do the skizzers just to get it out of the way, because it was on the last one and everything, but I'm going to read everything again. Another boy from your school has disappeared. Rumor has it a terrible woman has returned from the grave. A woman with the whitest smile and the sharpest scissors. You knew your friend was up to something when he left you his notebook full of cryptic notes. I can send her back to where she belongs, he claimed. After he too disappeared, he decided to study the notebook for clues. It details a ritual that claims to stop the wicked woman once and for all. What's the worst that could happen? Alright, yeah. Your missing friend has left you a notebook. If the rumors are true, to stop the tall woman with scissors, you need to perform a ritual to force her material form to appear in our dimension. Accomplishing this requires first the drawing of an eldritch sigil and then the lighting of holy candles. You can only hope your friend has left them somewhere in the school. So we're going to go to the locker room. We're going to first of all get the bat. And then we're going to use the tiny key to get the sport rifle. I think you have to have a tiny key every time you want to get that. But this will unlock it as a weapon that you can buy in a place I haven't unlocked yet. So 3 damage, 100 speed, 90 chance to hit. Damage 1 shot, 14. So this is actually going to be useful. I've only got 2 shots though, but it might be useful later. Against one of the bosses of like another campaign or something. Okay, so we're gonna explore the school. Looking around school, seeing what we can find. The pool is empty at this hour. It's dark, but you could swear something suddenly moved under the surface of the water. Step closer, check out the lockers, turn on the lights. Check out the lockers, because we get money for that. Because we just, I would never condone this in actual real life, but, like, I guess we're going to, like, steal some money out of somebody's wallet that they just left out in the open. Like, I guess a fiend, a terrible person. You feel like something horrible is about to happen to the school. You must hurry and find those items. We're going to look at the gym. You try to avoid mirrors, afraid of what you could be waiting on the other side, minus reason. Thank goodness we didn't lose stamina that time. You found an additional page from your friend's diary. It seems that the blessed chalk was left on the roof. You must hurry and find it. Are we still in timeline B? Because usually it's, if in timeline A it's in the water. Oh, I didn't want to do that. It's in the, like in the pool on timeline A, isn't it? Something is wrong. Instead of a clear blue sky, you see a bloated corpse of a long forgotten deity looming over the school. The barrier between the worlds is coming apart. You must hurry or risk being noticed by whatever other eldritch horrors still lurk. We're going to try and sneak. Success. You succeeded in grabbing the backpack and returned to the staircase leading back to our world. Plus 10 experience. You need to find the blessed chalk before you can. The ritual sigil can be drawn. Copy the sigil as best as you can. Oh, why did I say you need to? You found the blessed chalk. You can draw the sigil, which I need to put this away so that I can find out what the sigil is. There is an ending for messing it up, but I don't want that one. Okay, it's a triangle that kind of looks like the Rocco's Modern Life shirt, and then what I always interpreted like wall ball, where somebody throws a ball against the wall and it's bouncing off. Triangle. Wall ball. Okay. Now we're going to put this back away. I'm going to get the bat out just so that I can just immediately sell it. Because, like, I don't have the strength to really make good use of it. So we're just going to sell that. And I'm going to hang on to the rifle for later. Explore the school. As you turn a corner into the corridor, you're met with a gruesome sight of a student ghost. The girl is just standing there, pointing a bloody finger at one of the lockers. She's got to be trying to show you a clue, sir, right? So there's like... This can either be good or bad. Success! You search the locker and find the occult notes. With an eager smile, you turn to thank the spirit, but she's already gone. Oh well. Like, they could also be, like, really bad for you. Gain a random spell, lose 1 to 2 reason. Oh, these aren't the library book. The library book is the one I like the most. We're gonna just sell that. Library book gives you, like, 10 experience, doesn't it? Something like that. The sound of the scissors is getting louder. You must hurry. You carefully entered the biology classroom. The room seems empty at first, until you switch on the light. You gasp in horror. Lying in a pool of blood is one of the teachers with a fruit knife in her hand. There's a jar of formaldehyde on the nearest table. Mesmerized by the spiral pattern on the sea creature's skin, you step over the dead body and come closer. That's when the voice starts. Oh no, it's Forgotten Specimen. I got some tiny cuts. I don't think those do anything, right? They're more of an annoyance. Yeah, more of an annoyance than anything. What's this? I got a lump of flesh. Like, you can eat it, but it could also, like, cause something terrible to happen, so we're just going to sell it. Finally found the holy candles in your friend's backpack. You light them up as instructed by the notebook. Everything is ready for the ritual. So hang on a second. So we got the blessed chalk from our friend's backpack, and we're also getting the holy candles from our friend's backpack. Did this character just not search the backpack that well? Because I would have torn that thing to pieces, making sure that I found everything that was supposed to be in there. Wait, what's that? You take a step back as a writhing amorphous mass slowly takes shape. Soon it becomes a tall woman-like creature with 3 faces all connected by a wide smile. Now it is your chance to fight and defeat this horror. It is also your only chance. Twisting and twitching, the demon woman enters the classroom, cackling menacingly. Am I beautiful? I'm sure you're beautiful to someone. Alright, come on. Alright, we got this in the bag. Resolve. The ancient horror lies dead on the classroom floor, slowly dissolving into nothingness. You find your friend gravely wounded but alive. You help him up, and both of you limp away from the school as the police sirens get louder. Spine-chilling scissors, ending A. Scissor Woman is gone for good, or is she? You shudder, knowing the urban legend will inspire other kids in another city to try to summon the eldritch being. Rewards. Pretty much everything we got the last time. Look at that. We got another level up. Ghost Connection. Completing a mystery gains a random spell. Dexterity +1. Which might not be bad to get. +2 additional spell slots. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to grab Reason, because the more dexterity we have, the better we are with our weapon. Crimson Moon spotted over Shiokawa keeps everyone on edge, which does what now? All enemy. Oh man, it means enemies are going to be like really difficult now. And now we're back home. I'm going to get staminas. Alright, and we've got the Vigil, the Coma, the Trigonometry Teacher. Trigonometry Tail. 2B used to be one of the most outstanding classrooms in school, but now she's just an android. At least before their teacher disappearance. Her replacement glides through the school entrances, all those around her with her soft voice and calming emotional eyes. Her replacement glides through the school entrances. Oh, entrancing. Why? That's probably why I couldn't understand that. Her replacement glides through the school, entrancing all those around her with her soft voice and calming, emotionless eyes. Yeah, I do need to get my eyes checked again. These glasses are starting to not really do their job that well anymore. Now she stands at the front of the class, scribbling occult symbols in chalk and hissing lessons about the old gods. The children no longer play, but sit in their seats until dark, chanting along, learning of their eldritch masters and preparing to serve them. Following a rumor, you visit the house of a schoolgirl who acted really strange in class. The girl's parents sit crying in the living room and fearfully point upstairs. Investigate downtown twice to get this done. Yeah, let's go ahead and investigate there and get that out of the way. Suddenly, an empty bottle smashes on the wall behind you. You cover yourself from the glass fragments and notice a masked assailant holding a baseball bat. Right. This unlocks a specific character too, and we should be able to do it if we get the thing. But I don't think I have the place unlocked I can go to. Should get a switchblade, right? Prescription. Drug prescription. And if I go to the hospital and enter the pharmacy, can use the prescription, right? I guess not. I thought this is where you used it. Maybe I can't use it yet. Well, while I'm here, let's just grab that. Oh, I guess I did use the prescription because it's gone now. And then I got to find the person who did it. But like, I don't have the... So there's going to be like a Yakuza den here. at some point. I don't have that unlocked, so it doesn't matter, I guess. Let's go downtown, but she won't show up again, I don't think. You're pleasantly surprised to meet your old friend while waiting for a train. She undoubtedly changed a lot since the last you've seen her. These days, she's monitoring a web forum dedicated to the paranormal. Maybe she knows something useful? Chat, invite for coffee. Chat. In between conspiracy theories and Bigfoot sightings, you hear a worrying rumor about an old god slowly awakening to rule the earth once again. Could this be the reason for the recent horrific events? +5 experience, -1 reason. Climbing a tree and getting a better view of the class, weird schematics of some portal drawn on the chalkboard could help in the future. Okay, now we can actually progress the thing. You were planning out your next steps. It got you thinking about everything that needs to be done, and then everything that could happen, and everything awful thing that already has happened, and now all you can think about is just how scary and horrible things are. Try, push through it. Well, can't we do like a combination of both? Can't we cry while we push through it? Because, that was something I was thinking about the other day. Like, when you have like a insurmountable task to or what feels like that to handle, like the best way to do it is to look for, let's say and I guess this isn't really like super major or anything. This is just like an example. Like, say you haven't cleaned a particular room where you live for a while, and so there's a lot of things to do. You gotta clean off the counters or bookshelves or tabletops or whatever the case may be. And you gotta vacuum, and you gotta dust, and you gotta clean all of this stuff really, really, really thoroughly. And it's oh my god, it's just a huge thing. Or you look at you've washed up a bunch of laundry, but you haven't really been folding it, so you've just been leaving it in the basket or something, and it's a mountain of clothes, and it's I've gotta go through this whole mountain of clothes. The best thing you can do is to bite off small pieces, starting with the easiest stuff, unless there's a lot of little easy things and a couple of really hard things that you just take care of really quickly. The best thing you can do is to take care of all the easier steps, because when you've gotten let's say there's 15 steps and you've already done 5 steps, well, then you can look at the stuff that you have done and been okay, I've gotten a lot of stuff done. Still a lot of things to do, but I've gotten a lot of stuff done. And also, you don't have to do it all at one time. Maybe you set a goal. I do 5 things out of these 15 steps. It's not something that immediately has to be done. It's just, it would be a good idea to get it all done at one time, so you don't have to come back to it. But if it's okay, I'll take 3 days, I'll do these 15 tasks, I'll do 5 tasks, and in those 3 days, I'll do all 15 of them. And it'll get a bit easier because every time I come back to it, there's less to do. That's probably, in my experience, one of the best ways to handle something like that is not to push yourself so hard that it's I just absolutely can't stand or tolerate trying to solve this issue, but rather I can come back little by little and solve the issue. So that's something that that's how I personally look at it. But we're gonna just cry. And my charisma was bad. You can barely get out of sight. You can barely get out of sight before you break down into heavy sobs. Why? Why you? You don't want to do this anymore, but if you don't, everyone will die. You cry and cry and cry. +3 doom. It's not the worst thing that could happen. She sits in her bedroom in a blood-stained uniform, a dead rat lying in her hands. Asked why she killed it, she just grins. We've already seen this, so I'm just going to skip it. Travel to the village. Another lead, the former teacher of the class, may prove more useful. Knocking on their door, however, you get no answer, just a subtle chittering behind the door. What is this? What is this one up here? I don't know if I've ever noticed that. Maybe that just has something to do with, like, the prescription, but I can't go find the person because I don't have that unlocked, unfortunately. Walking through the village, you suddenly pulled behind a building. 2 menacing-looking masked figures block your entrance. Do you serve the old ones? Yes. We knew it. The prophecies were true. The masked figures relax a bit, taking off their mask. We apologize for this, master. 2 allies. We got Ryoko, +1 to weapons damage. And Hiroyuki Mizutani. Completing a mystery. Oh my god, I'm glad I did that. I'll take the doom for that. A little boy from the school has been attacked by his classmates. You're stopped by it. We're gonna decline this because it usually does not turn out that great when you accept it. You're stopped by a masked man wearing a lab coat. He introduces himself as a researcher from Tokyo University, testing a new treatment method that promises to revolutionize modern medicine. Holding out a pile of documents, he tells you he can heal your wounds for free. So sometimes you can get, like, injuries and I think, stamina back, but, like, a lot of the times you're, like, in a real bad state. A lot of the times it doesn't go out that well. You politely decline and the generous offer and continue on your way. You find him in the hospital covered in bites. Just what in the world is summoning that he speaks of between his sobs? What in the world is all this, like, old god stuff? I'm sorry, but have you seen the doctor? He suddenly disappeared, and I'm not sure whether the surgery is over. We've got the forgotten patient. I don't know if she's a ghost or not. But we've gotten, like, 1 extra attack. Oh man, torn muscles. Alright, we're gonna have to book it. We're gonna have to get out of here. Torn muscle deals -1 damage to all attacks in combat. I'm gonna have to do 2 things. First of all, I don't know if I have the money to get that. So let's first of all prepare. Rummage through your belongings, trying to find anything that would help. You pick up Kirie's bag. Hopefully will be enough. +5 doom. Oh, sewing kit. Did I already have this? I think I did. I think I bought that. Yeah. Yeah. Kirie's bag. While in inventory, a forgotten spell lowers reason by 1 to 2 and increases doom by 1. Gain a random spell. Well, I don't want that. We're going to store that because, I've got 1 spell. Okay, we're going to rest. +5 doom, but we're going to rest twice. And then I'm gonna... I might have to sell those painkillers, but I want to see if I can get the torn muscle taken care of. Oh, thank goodness. But we got blood loss. -10 staminas. And I mean, it's better than not being able to do much damage, right? With no other ideas, you decide to wait outside the school itself. I'm going to pop those painkillers, though. With the trail growing cold, it might be time for a different approach. Could a similar case have occurred in the past? A trip to the library could help be a good idea. Study issues of local newspapers. It was a complete waste of time. You spent the whole day reading about cute dogs, giant vegetables, and the occasional accident. You find nothing related to the case at hand. I mean, it could be worse things to read about. You could read about the local who has like the biggest stamp collection or something. Faint chanting doesn't stop, and no one enters or leaves the building. Wait, why is it suddenly so dark outside? You stand at the window to take a look. Black smog emerges from the courtyard, coating everything in an oily vapor. Run from the window! Success! You run from the window before anything happens. You hear screaming coming from the school. It's time to enter. You sneak in through the window and skulk across the shadowy corridors. All of the classrooms have emptied out. Peering into one, you spot the corpse of a teacher nailed to the chalkboard. Shaking, you approach it. You spot an odd bulge protruding from his stomach. It writhes against your fingers as you prod it. Why would you touch it? Suddenly, the teacher's chest rips apart, showering the classroom with gore. From within, a child coated in meat and intestines leaps out, screeching with joy. We got the gore-covered student. Why can't I seem to hit worth a shit? No, there we go. So we got like 2 fights in this one. As you near the gym hall, the chanting a rhythmic drum grow louder, threatening to intoxicate you. You creak the door open and stifle a scream. The entire school is gathered around a huge portal, surrounding by black candles. From within, the bellowing of the beast being summoned echoes. The teacher stands in the front, covering a purple robe, her true form revealed. We don't see the teacher, we just see the portal. +2 to Doom, so there's really not, other than, the Doom aspect. So we gotta attack the teacher. We only get, to do 2 things. We can't actually use our weapon, which kind of sucks. So it's basically just take it out as quick as possible. With her dying scream, the teacher throws herself into the portal, her vicious master showing no mercy. You hear it devouring her before the connection shuts. The confused children lie on the ground crying, thanks you. However, they are safe. We got ending A. And, that's great. So we're going to Outdoorsman luck, 1 to perception, 1 to knowledge. Let's see. You have to have this to find the missing person. That's I was talking about the missing person earlier with the radio on the TV. You have to have the Outdoorsman perk also. But I can't find them on the TV anyway, so it doesn't matter. Perception, knowledge. We're going to go with that one. We're going to get our reason back. And great. Okay, now what? When did the water level suddenly increase? Our city is slowly sinking. So this makes going to the village harder, doesn't it? Exploring seaside location has a chance of inflicting drench status. Oh yeah. Drench status is basically you don't get a cold or anything, but it's just basically you're we're gonna get the extra. Should I get more stamina or should I get more experience points? It's more experience. Although it didn't seem to boost my experience from looking at it. Got the comas and the vigil. We'll do the vigil. Vicious verses of a violent vigil. You receive an official looking letter. What does a law firm from Tokyo want from you? We regret to inform you of the passing of our client and your grand uncle. His funeral will be preceded by an overnight vigil as per the client's request. There's an address and the list of people expected to arrive. You don't recognize any of the names. Intrigued, you decide to check it out yourself. What's the worst that could happen? Following the directions from the letter, you slowly fight your way through the overgrown forest path. The old mansion looks like an torn down and rebuilt many times, but where is everybody? Explore the mansion. Action will unlock new locations and progress this mystery. Of course. Jar of blood. I can't risk reason. I might lose stamina also anyway. And I wasn't going to take Doom because 65 is not bad for right now, but especially in the lighthouse, it can go from like 65 to like 100 really easily. Takes you some time, but finally you manage to find someone. Is that another guest? You should ask them what's going on in here for action. So we're gonna do this. A pair is standing next to a window. The man is muttering something to himself while his wife is observing you with her unnaturally bulgy eyes. The body is laid out in the master bedroom. You should pay him your respects. If I remember correctly, like, there are like different endings based on whether or not you do what you're supposed to do and whether or not you don't. I don't remember which one is like the easier one. I'm going to check out the collection of masks because checking out the sculpture, provokes a fight. You enter the art workshop. The room is cluttered with half-finished sculptures and bizarre masks hanging on the wall. One sculpture strikes you as eerily realistic. Oh, hey, what's these masks over here? Oh my god, that's great. One of the masks looks similar to the design you once saw in an occult book. You decide to take it. Akendo, the occult book. This one, small chance of ignoring stamina loss in combat. Fantastic. Pressing a handkerchief into your nose, you enter the dark room. There's no way they allowed your granduncle to just lie there. What was the correct bow and clap order again? Maybe other guests know. A muscular man is eyeing you as you take a step forward towards him. You can't help but notice deep scars going across his cheek. You don't get this with a letter. You didn't get this with a letter? Take take mine. And then they still say the same thing. I'm thinking if I want to actually do this or not. Let's see. We'd like to thank you on behalf of our client for participating in the vigil on such short notice. He was a spiritual person and left instructions we are asking you to follow closely. 10 p.m. Pray over the body. Bow, clap, bow, clap. There's something for messing that up, if I remember correctly. Light up fireplace. Pray over the body. Bow, bow, clap, bow. Nothing at 1 a.m. Burn an envelope found in the study. Cover the mirror with a strand in the storage room. Nothing. Individual. Bow, clap, bow, clap. We're going to go ahead and do that. Bow, clap, bow, clap. And I'm going to inspect his foot. There's a weird symbol tattooed on the man's toe. You copied it on your pamphlet. There's a local legend about a heartbroken seamstress. One stormy night, she broke into a local inn and stitched the unsuspecting guests together. Her final gruesome artwork. But that's just a legend, right? Like, how did she do that without them, like, waking up? Luck check, success. Inside the cupboard, you find a sewing kit. And decide to leave the room before any legend spring to life. If I remember correctly, if you look at the sewing machine, you have a chance to get hairs, and when you put the hairs together with a sewing kit, it makes it better. I don't know why. We're just gonna go ahead and use the sewing kit. Might as well. We're gonna lose one charisma, but we already, we're not very charismatic to begin with. All family members are gathered near the fireplace. You can tell everyone is waiting for the dawn. The guest seems strangely uninterested in the vigil. You should explore more and learn what you can find. Let's see. It's what time is it now? 11 p.m. We gotta light the fireplace now. You couldn't find any firewood to add to the fireplace. -1 stamina. I don't know how that hurts us, but okay. Storage room. Isn't there like something we can find in here? Or am I thinking of another room? You shudder, instantly recognizing the room from the newspaper photo. 3 years ago, a man hanged himself here. Why is the vigil being held in a place like this? Pick the wardrobe. I got the meat cleaver, which is a strength weapon, which means I'm going to sell it immediately. Does extra damage against humans and monsters, but like we're a dexterity build. All right. Nothing to see here. Just time to progress. The round window of the crooked manor tower is calling you. You feel your strength drain away as you stare at the bright light. Fight the feeling, get lost in the light, force yourself into hiding. Nice. Spot an old fallen tree and jump behind it. Still feeling unnatural light on your skin. Soon, things calm down. You're safe. +2 reason, +5 experience. That was the best case scenario. Go to the library or the study. It seems that someone has already removed all of the furniture from this room. The overgrown plant is casting an unsettling shadow. I don't think there's anything to do with the, I don't think the overgrown plant does anything, right? Pray over the body at 12 a.m., which is now. Bow, bow, clap, bow. Oh my god, the body is missing. Yeah, that always happens, and then the guests everywhere, where is everybody? Like, no matter what, like, it's always going to happen that the guests are going to disappear and the body's going to disappear. But depending on if you follow the ritual or not, things happen. It looks like one of the previous owners of this mansion liked to read. Dusty tomes reach the ceiling. You don't have much time, but maybe you can spare a minute to look through the books. We're going to check out the table. Knowledge check, success. The notes lying on the table look like the ramblings of a madman, but you can see the method to their madness. +5 experience. Hey, everything's coming up, Millhouse. You manage to find one of the guests. They are shaken, but otherwise safe. You both decide to get the hell out of there, this place. The door is gone. This reminds me of one of my books. I don't think there's really anything for searching, right? Yeah, you just gotta continue going. Countless spoons fly out of the cupboard when a ghostly figure materializes in the middle of the room. It's the ghost. She's got a lot of power, doesn't she? 4 damage. I don't know, man. I might just be worth running. I don't think we were gonna win that fight. Oh, kill them, says the weirdo in the mirror window. Yep, we just gotta keep going now. Corpses are strung up on wire, like macabre marionettes with painted smiles and rosy cheeks. -2 reason. You stumble upon Sotomura, furiously scratching his scar. With each motion, he gets a little deeper. With each motion, more blood appears. With each motion, he takes a step towards you. And we've got to deal with this guy. I don't think... Yeah, you can't run, so you got to fight. No problem. As the vigil is nearing its end, the whole mansion shakes more and more until the walls start to collapse, revealing the shocking truth about your whereabouts. Oh no! The walls of the corridor collapse, revealing an alien landscape with a taste of blood in your mouth as a slimy appendage slowly gets closer. The voice in your head tells you what to do. So you can kill the guest or explore the mansion. I think exploring the mansion just like has you do another fight. An unseen force leads your hand. You reach for the knife and stab the surprised guest. Conclude the ritual. So there's like a way to fight all the guests. There's a way to like sacrifice all the guests. The price is paid. A voice booms in your head as everything gets dark. When you wake up, you find yourself lying on the wet grass, the old mansion nowhere to be seen. Standing next to you is a naked, bloated old man. You recognize the tattoo on the man's toe. It's your deceased grand uncle. With a coarse voice, he explains the ritual. You try to keep up with him. You're weak and your head spins. The death toll must remain the same. 2 die and 2 survive. You feel like vomiting as the old man who has cheated death disappears behind the trees. Everything gets dark. The man who you thought was your uncle has cheated death, making you an accessory to murder. You know the police officers won't believe you when you tell them the truth, and you do your best to forget the nightmare that you left behind. So I got -3 doom, my experience, everything, and I got the extra stamina from the partner. Okay, self-therapy. What's this? Forgetting spells regains extra reason, 2 additional spell slots, random spell. I mean, at this point, like, it doesn't really matter, does it? And I think I'm going to try and get more dexterity. Dangerous bands of rioters are gathering around downtown area. The police are hopeless. I think this means like threat levels are higher, right? Dangerous bands. Oh, I guess we just have, you know, downtown is just more difficult. Alright, we got one more mystery. 76 doom is not terrible. Curious case of the contagious coma. More and more people fall unconscious and cannot be awakened. People who try to wake the patients end up falling into the coma themselves. A whole wing of the town's hospital has been dedicated to warding the comatose. Is there anything connecting these people? And how did the strange illness start? We gotta go to the village twice. Gotta go see the village people at the YMCA. Trail to an abandoned Shinto shrine is overgrown with steep. However, it could be an important place. We're gonna take the safe route. Yeah, we got 2 doom, but more experience. Alright, village again. Stand in the middle of a field, frozen in terror. A ripple in our reality shows a horrible future of our planet. You see the familiar figure looking back at you. You can't help but wonder if it's our world or just an illusion. Question your sanity, enter the portal. Enter the portal. As the figure gets closer to the portal, ready to swap places. Where are you? Lost in time and space, you drift through nothingness until something pulls you towards the light. The temperature abruptly drops, and you shudder. It is icy cold. You find yourself in the middle of a snowy wasteland. A sudden gust flings you to your knees, and you inhale deeply, feeling your chest tighten and ache. Your fingers and your ears are already numb and freezing. You have to move. Move towards the pyramid. Failure. The frozen guard corpses watch you silently as you cut yourself on a razor-sharp edge of the ice. You got frostbite and cut artery. -1 stamina each investigation. That sucks. We're gonna get that taken care of right now. The -2 strength is whatever. Stable condition. Nothing happens with that one. I'd like to get the frostbite taken care of also, but like that's literally $1. Oh, get rid of that. Oh, and I get more experience. Heck yeah, Batman. I can't do anything with that, and I need 1 fund for that. But do I have anything that would be... I can sell the medical kit. It's not very useful, honestly. Badly bruised. -1 strength until the end of the current mystery. So basically, instead of having -2 strength, I just have -1, and it'll be resolved at the end of this. It's not a big deal. Let's check the news reports about the weird disease and try to find the cause before more people fall asleep. And we investigated the village location twice and got the seeing dust, which I don't know if I'm going to use this time or not. Hearing footsteps behind you, you realize that you aren't the only student here. A girl wearing a demon mask starts giggling, and as she gets closer, we've got the young witch. Sometimes she can drop like a Stanley knife, right? Box cutter, yeah, broken box cutter. Sell that. Got nothing out of it, but it's just taking up inventory space. By the way, sometimes they're called Stanley knives because Stanley is a brand that makes box cutters. Get lost. Yeah, we got more Doom. Basically, we got lost in the neighborhood. Spend hours trying to find a way out. Finally, completely exhausted, you end up on the main street as the passage to the blighted neighborhood slowly closes behind you. Travel to the hospital. It's going pretty well so far. We might be actually able to solve this whole thing. As part of the therapy, some patients took part in an art class. Some of their work fills you with dread. -2 reason. Patient 0. You've got their name and address. Let's go. Let's get out of here. Even though they want us to go back to the place. Find yourself in an old, unused part of the hospital. You take a deep breath. The disgusting smell of thawed remains still lingers in the room. It used to be the hospital's mortuary where doctors determine the cause of death. I think the freezer is a fight. I'm going to just search the cabinet. Something flashes in the corner of a dusty drawer. Too late, you realize the rusty scalpel blade as it cut yourself badly. I might need to take that back about what I was saying about this might actually be doable at this point. Especially because the Doom's at 90 now. That pair has been following you since this morning. You finally managed to lose them, but can't shake the feeling that it will only get worse. -2 stamina. Yeah, I'm going to take that back. I don't know if we can actually do this. That man dabbled in magic. You found a journal describing a certain village, instructions for summoning ritual. It seems that he tried to contact an entity from the dream realm, or realm of dreams. Walking through the park, you find a little girl crying alone in the playground. When you ask what's wrong, She says that she can't find her mommy. Luckily, you spot the girl's address in the backpack. Let the police handle it. Not my fucking job. Tell the girl to wait and you look for an officer. When you get back, she's gone. The quarantine wing is guarded closely. You must find a way to sneak through. Use the boost to sneak through. Taking an elevator, you get a terrible feeling that something bad is going to happen. The elevator doors open, and we lost 3 reason. You've managed to sneak through. Yeah, I'm just going to do an investigate. You managed to sneak through the floor while avoiding the police, and finally reach the quarantine wing, where all the coma patients were brought in. Their pulses are slowly weakening and their blood pressure's dropping. You must hurry. Investigate. Complete silence of this place hits you when you reach one of the beds. All of the patients are dead. -3 reason. And we've got shaken. You sneak out of the hospital. One thing is certain though. With no sick people left alive, it's the end of the weird illness. Rewards. We got 45 experience. -3 doom. +1 stamina and reason. 1 more day. We learned something new. Got 1 more stamina. Don't we get reason? Don't I get reason? Oh, actually, here we go. That's what I want right there. And I'm going to get more reason here. Because wasn't the self-therapy for getting a spell gains extra reason? Forget this spell. Great. Forget this spell. Okay, and then people are preparing for the worst. People stock up on everything, making it harder to find what you want. All shops cost extra money, but we don't have access to shops anymore, so that doesn't matter, because it's go time, baby. We want to get some extra staminaes. Alright. Lighthouse. The ominous lighthouse has been closed down for longer than you can remember. Enter the lighthouse. And we gotta actually unlock every single padlock. Now we can walk in. There's no time to mess around with resting. We gotta just start climbing and hope for the best. Following the winding staircase, you were stopped. Wait a moment. Someone has been taking notes, focused on the photos, including the enemies you fought with. There's something wrong. You can't precisely say what. Select the second enemy you fought this run. We did the arm one first. And I want to say the gossip junkie. I think it was the forgotten specimen. Yes. Because I was thinking about it. I was like, well, I know we did the arm one first, right? And then, like, we got the tiny key, and I got the rifle, which I haven't used yet. Probably actually won't end up using it, if I'm being honest. So we got the rifle, and it was like, well, I know I did the forgotten specimen and the scissors one. You rip the photo. Underneath there's a tiny button. You press it in. With a buzz, the gate opens. Following the winding staircase, you are stopped by darkness. The thick black cloud is obscuring your vision, and you can swear something is waiting for you inside. We don't have a flashlight, so we just gotta go. Lost 3 reason. You decide to brave the veil. Finally emerge a little while later. Safe. You can't, however, explain the blasphemous whispers you had heard. Following the winding staircase, you find a metal gate that blocks your way. A cable that should be powering it is currently disconnected. The power box itself is covered with a weird, moist goo. Just inhaling the fumes make your eyes itch and water, but to power the gate, you need to disconnect the faulty plug. Strength failure check. Not enough strength. Yeah, no kidding. You're surprised at how much effort it takes to disconnect the faulty plug. As you force it, the weird goo burns your fingers. Finally, you manage to separate the faulty plug and connect the proper cable. With a buzz, the gate opens. Climbing up the winding staircase. You are stopped by a masked man wearing an expensive suit. The rules have changed, kiddo, he says, taking off his jacket and mask off. Nothing personal, really. I think this is the occult leader, actually. Takashi-san. Come on. Cool. If you have handcuffs, which you can get at the police station, you can just immediately, like, stop that. Like, you can, like, get his health down and then use it and, like, not kill him. I don't remember why you do that. Anyway, you were stopped by a girl wearing a dirty black school uniform. I'm sorry, but I can't let you go any further, she says, reaching into her bag. It's too late anyway. You instinctively take a step back when you notice a knife in her hand. You have to think fast. Try to reason with her. Not enough charisma. You try to talk her into allowing you to pass, but suddenly she raises the knife and slices right across her own throat, nearly decapitating herself. Take a step over her body, -2 reason. But we did it. We survived. We cured, a lot of toll on our sanity and physical damage. Look at her face. It's all bloody and scarred up. But we saved the town. We did it. There's hopes for a brighter future for everyone. As the unnatural fog slowly lifts, you are relieved and collapse on the floor. The next day, everything feels like a bad dream. Get out of the way, Trophy. I can't read. Trophy, I said get out of the way. I can't read it. I couldn't read it much anyway to begin with, but at least... Oh my god. Oh my god. You managed to stop the ritual... You managed to stop the ritual awakening the Eldritch Old God. I was hoping it would pop up another one. But what's done is done. It will stir in its slumber again and again until the stars are right once more. Congratulations, you're safe for now. And so we were this character. That's the smoker guy. That's the reporter guy. That's the... what's her name? That's the idol, and I think this is the athletic chick. Alright. You survived on cultist difficulty. I don't remember which one that is. Snake knife, kendo helmet. Medical history, Goizo. We had 4 doom until it was over. Timeline A, additional actions, manual. I don't know what that means. Your playthrough lasted 70 minutes. In this run, you managed to solve 5 mysteries plaguing the town, saw 8 new events, 11 new enemies, and 4 new achievements. We know, it was keeping me from reading. Alright, well, I guess that's where I'm going to end this video. I may do 1 or 2 more of these. At least, I think I'm going to do at least 1 more. But like I said, I'm not going to do, like I said on the last one, I'm not going to do more than 4. And I should have unlocked... Let's take a quick look. I think I might have unlocked some new stuff. We're going to check. Can I not check that? Uncheck all. Check all. That's weird. Okay, continue. We're just going to see if we got any new characters and stuff. I know we're going to get the next backstory. That was one of the reasons why I did it. So we've got... That's the medical... That's the one. Hunted by the occult. You've managed to run from them once, but the cult is tireless. Solving the mystery reduces more doom, but you get more unique combat encounters. So that's probably going to be the one we're going to do next time. And we're going to use this character. Mimi is actually my favorite character. And I think if you beat a campaign with her, you get like the challenge mode. And hers is the most interesting and big brained. You need to know how to play this game. So if I can unlock it next episode, then I will probably do a 4th episode of me attempting to do that. But I have no ambitions of actually winning because it is majorly hard. But saying that, I'm now going to say this. If you watched the video, I appreciate it. If you made it to this point in the video, I really, really appreciate it. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.